Okay, guys, and we're back with another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest. I'm Seth from the Only Stoner Podcast, and this is episode 95 of my side quest. Now, in this episode, I'm going to be talking about a college basketball player who, in my opinion, should be nailed on for somewhere in the second round of the NBA draft. He is small forward for University of Iowa, Payton Sandford. Payton Sandford's a small forward, 6'7", 3-point sniper. Right, this guy can knock it down. He knocks down open shots. He can score from all three levels, to be honest. Got a solid inside layup game, and like I said, solid jumper, and is a sniper from 3-point. He's not your quintessential, white boy 3 and no D college player. He actually does show a lot of good defensive effort on defense. Got a lot of good defensive effort. It is nothing special as a playmaker. I think Iowa, as a team, were quite a good passing team last season. So I wouldn't say he particularly stands out as a smooth playmaker, but he can find his man. When he has to, when he's maybe double teamed or in a tough situation, or even in open play, he can find his man. He's a pretty good defender, like I said, in terms of also grabbing the rebounds and crashing the glass. Again, nothing insane. He's not an elite rebounder. I don't think he's quite got the physicality, even at college level, to consistently guard the 4-5s. And in the NBA, these guys are even bigger, even older, even more physical. So I don't think Payton Sandford's going to be a guy that you can really expect to guard positions 1 through 5. I think at college level, he's able to guard pretty much 1 through 3-4, depending on the lineup. But in the NBA, it's a whole different level, and I think he's probably going to be stuck to defending his own position, like the forwards, small forwards, power forwards, because I don't think he's quite athletic enough to guard point guards or shooting guards. He's not quite at that level. Not to say he couldn't become at that level. Each season since Payton's been at Iowa, he's improved. And particularly these past couple seasons when he's really showed out in terms of his 3-point production and able to be a reliable piece for Iowa to rely on. When they're in a tough moment, they can run some plays, try and get Payton open, and with some decent certainty, can expect him to knock down the bucket, right? A guy like Payton Sandford, for me, is a really big sleeper pick. Surprised there's not more people talking about him come this year's NBA draft, particularly in the second round. I think any team that's looking to do business in the second round should be looking at a player like Payton Sandford. Like I said, a guy who's got decent enough defensive effort and a 3-point sniper. If we're being honest, he's probably one of the best, if not the best, pure shooters of the ball in this entire draft. To be honest, earlier on in this video, I might have underplayed it, but this guy has got a seriously nice stroke on him, pause, and has got a picture-perfect release, right? He's got a great balance in his shot, and like I said, he spaces the floor and he can knock him down from 3, which is now in the NBA, but always has been, particularly in the past, 10, 15 years or so, a very valuable thing is, can you knock down the 3 ball? Are you able to space the floor, create opportunities for other guys through your spacing? Payton Sandford is 100% one of those guys, right? So, like I said, a very good shooter. I think it's the type of game, offensively, at least, he's got the type of game offensively that I would expect to translate pretty well to NBA courts. And I say that, but he's got a good size for a 3-point sniper too. Like I said, he's 6'7". He's got a solid frame, and like I said, he's not an A+ athlete, but he's good enough. In my opinion, he should be good enough to hold his own at NBA level. If not, that's something you should be looking to work on, right? He gives good effort on defense, like I said, and he's an elite he is an elite 3-point shooter, but an elite free throw shooter too. And again, potentially, just like his 3-point shot, he's got the potential to be one of the best in the league. Now, he's not Steph, he's not Clay, he's not, and he's not going to be an elite number 1 option for any NBA team, right? If Payton Sandford ever becomes the number 1 option on your NBA team, your franchise is probably cooked, bro. Not to say he's a bad player or anything, but you know what I mean. Now, Due to his game, it's an outside game for the most part. He doesn't get to the line all that often, but when he does, he makes them count. So Payton Sandford is a guy that, in my opinion, is a absolute sleeper. Absolute sleeper for the NBA draft. And like I said, any team that's looking to do business in the second round of the NBA draft should be looking at Payton Sandford. And also, like I said, he's the type of style that can fit in any team, right? Let's say you want to give him a few, like, decent amount of minutes early on and have him in the rotation at your 3-4 spot. He's 6'7", so he might be asked to play the 4 spot occasionally, right? And from day one, you want him to have decent minutes in the rotation. He's the type of player that I've got confidence that on the right team, in the right setup, and given the right opportunity, could definitely make something of himself in the league. Or if you realise that maybe this guy, you've got decent depth in your franchise at the moment, you just want him to be a garbage time guy. Give him garbage time late in the fourth quarter, late in the second quarter, late in the third quarter. Run some plays, get him open, let him knock down some threes, let him get 5, 6, 7, 8 points under his belt and bring him off. That's fine. He's the type of player, because he's such a good 3-point shooter, deep what I'm saying, he doesn't need tons and tons and tons of plays to get a half decent stat line. Doesn't need tons of plays to get to 8, 9, 10 points, right? He could do that in 3 or 4 plays, whereas a guy with no 3-point shot and is relying more on his bag, his dribbling bag, and get into the mid-range or get into the inside, of course, it might take them 5 or 6 plays to do that. Well, it takes him 3 to 4. So obviously it's a game of odds, of course, and the NBA draft is far from guaranteed. Just because you draft a guy in the first round doesn't mean he's guaranteed to be your franchise player. But also, just because you draft a guy in the second round doesn't mean he's going to be awful, right? We've seen in the NBA these past couple of years a lot of talent come out of the second round, and I think Payton Sandford for the 2025 NBA draft will definitely be another one of these second round gems that get drafted by teams, and no doubt we'll probably see him do a stint in the G League, and he'll be the better for it, and I think that'll even get even more eyeballs on him, right? Because no doubt he'll be knocking down threes in the G League too. But yeah, Payton Sandford's a seriously slept on pick for the NBA draft, I believe. I think he could go anywhere in the second round. I think once you're in the second round, pretty much going anywhere in that second round, there's not a great deal of difference. But I think he could go anywhere in that second round. Yeah, another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag, episode 95, and I'm out. Peace.